We got upper body today. The only thing I'm real worried about for today's workout, the only thing I'm focused on is I'm starting with like 3 count pause bench, right? Pause for 3 seconds. You're not going to pause that long in competition. Depends on, the judge, obviously, whoever, however long it takes them to give you the upper command. Probably not going to be 3 seconds. But if you train and progressively overload during your prep, a prolonged pause, then by the time it's meet day, you're going to be able to push more weight easier because you trained paused longer and heavier. You know what I mean? I still have a primary bench day where I pause, not for an exaggerated amount of time, but give it a pause and go back up. But that's my comp bench day, and that's not today. And then all of the accessories, all just mainly focused on helping out my bench. But let's get straight to it. All right, y'all. First upper body day of the powerlifting prep done. We did 3 count pause bench, cable single arm rows, rear delt flies on like a pec machine, easy bar tricep push downs, and easy bar curls. So just 5 things. And besides doing like the 3 count pause bench, everything else is just accessory. So it's like, yeah, I want to hit it and get a sick pump and, do hypertrophy and train my body and get like huge, and like body build. But all of those are accessories. Powerlifting wise is just to bench as much as possible for your meet. So like all of your accessories on your upper body day, you want to just gear them towards, benching. Unless, you want to do it bodybuilding style, but for powerlifting, So like I train the 3 count pause bench, right? Then for like my back, I just train lats, because between like deadlifts, that's mainly going to train my back. So for my accessories, I usually just do my lats or something for my whole back, but to mainly train my back, I just kind of rely on deadlifts or barbell rows or straight leg deadlifts, stuff like that. And then rear delt flies, just got to round out that shoulder. You know what I mean? Got to get the 3D look. Helps you kind of bring it down, strengthen that. So on the way down, you're stronger. You can move up. Tricep push downs just helps with the lockout for bench. And then, you just got to train your biceps. And my favorite biceps exercise is easy bar curls. But let's go ahead and check the pumperoo. I'm moving down a weight class from where I competed in my first 2 meets. So the heaviest I can be is now the lightest I could be at my previous weight class. So we've been on a cut for a few months, but the strength is still there. And I'd say we're not looking too shabby.